game against Vega yesterday, I mean, Vega wasn't like in any kind of great form, obviously, but mousesports like took their own game, Vega's own game, and like threw it right back in their face. They were just equally aggressive on Mirage. That was really fun to watch.
Yes, it was, and I'm glad that we're playing Train. I really like this map. I hope
you
that
you get those train drops.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone loves those. Let's see what this is going to turn out like. QB Fire will be starting on the T side of mousesports on the CT side. Currently just one smoke and a couple of flashbangs set up there for QB Fire, so that seems like more a sort of contact, you know, once we make anything happen, we're going to be all in, you know?
Yes, and it's on Valina, who's going to be above the ladder at the moment. So this could be used to help take the inner bomb site, could be used to throw towards the outer site. Actually, Quick sees that shadow from Oscar, and Waterfalls with the peek as well. So over-aggressive from Oscar with no real plan for backup. He gets taken down. Sticko and Chris J back towards Ivy. They can still use the range of these USPs, but QB Fire's very, very patient across the map.
Yes, they are. That's probably a good sign. The big problem here on Train when you're playing T-side pistol is closing the gap between you and that USP. Even if the clock has been upgraded, you really don't want to fight long range. And Robs is currently holding that plateau. Is it, or sorry, the sidewalk? Is it going to be enough for him? That smoke, can they stop it? Gonna put it in, it's gonna land right at his feet, and he's already repositioning himself. He doesn't want to try and fight through that now. He's up on the high ground instead, so they will be able to make their way down. There's a couple of clicks coming in. Chris with one headshot, looking for more. Double kill comes through. Finally, he's gone, but he did a lot of damage in the meantime. Robs couldn't quite connect on that kill. Stika will take Waterfalls, and suddenly QB Fire, in spite of having a really great opening, now they're a man down. They have made their way on here, but I think Sunny's already heard them, so the bomb plant won't really be that much of a surprise here. And Stiko and Robs are coming in as well.
Oh, and there's a great shot from Stiko. He just gets in a position. I think QB Fire made this pistol round much harder on themselves than they had to. 1-on-3, and it's not even going to get close. Rops shuts him down, clotheslined. Right at the end is Boomich. I don't understand why they would just push towards sidewalk. Keep a 5-on-4. Just get into the bomb site here. This is between this position that Chris J has. I mean, it's clever for him obviously because you can see it's a pretty decent headshot angle. Very tough to hit that with the Glocks at that range. But also, he's using their own smoke as like cover for himself. He's using that as like another portion of cover that they just can't really get around, and gives him more opportunities to shoot down upon them. I just think if the bomb gets into that site on that execute and you just have a 5-on-4 post plant at the inner bomb site, that round is much more doable.
It might have just made things, you're right, more complicated than was required. This time they have a flashbang, so maybe just an attempt to try and get a bomb plant down if you can. Jim Cut jumping a little bit close to try and see if he maybe could bait someone out. A little bit of a... He's going to get more than he asked for.
I was going to say, he did it. He baited him out.
Rob's getting really bored of that.
He's had enough. We can take this opportunity for viewers who might not have tuned into any QB Fire games. We can run through the names because they are not exactly pronounced the way they look. It's obviously Waterfalls is pretty straightforward, but the next one is Valina, and then there's Jimka, right? Jimka, and then Boomich and Quick.
Yes, indeed. So once you get used to it, it's pretty easy. So 2-0 here for mousesports. Third round coming up. They will have AK-47. So this is where it gets interesting. I feel like, oh, actually, there's already an EWP and Oscar. I was wondering about that if they were going to delay it a little bit, mousesports. But that's one of the big problems that they have to deal with here. And obviously, you do need a lot of grenades just to try and make his life a bit harder. If you don't throw those grenades, then he'll tear your whole team apart.
They've got a good amount, though. They have 4 smokes. They have a Molotov, but obviously I don't think they were expecting the op to be out this fast into the game. Quick gets caught off guard. I'm going to take box halls, but that's the bomb as well, so no matter what happens, QB Fire's going to have to sacrifice one of these players because they have 2 towards the inner bomb site, 2 towards Ivy. One of those 4 players is going to have to go back to get the bomb eventually.
Yeah, they have the time for that, but being a man down like this, you need somebody to make an opening, and Waterfalls looks like he's in the mood for it. He's managed to get quite far down into Ivy. This isn't bad at all. If they can smoke off towards the yard side and just wrap around, now they obviously can't because of the Molotov, but there is always a chance that you could put some pressure on that way. Now they're going to go for the Grand Slam, the double drop, whatever you want to call it, down into Pop Dog, and Yeah, going to be absolutely nothing to gain there, but it is a good tactic.
One of the cool things that you might not have noticed is as soon as pressure was put on Ivy, mousesports flashed and peeked in towards teammate, got the information, made sure it was cleared out. They've backed out of it now, but they lost ground elsewhere. Here's that smoke towards the yard side. They want to try and get out to the left. It's Oscar here, though. That's a great flashbang, and Oscar gonna peek with it. That's a kill onto Waterfalls. Boomich still hasn't turned the corner. Jimka's down to 5 HP as well, and Valina's got the bomb. This is a big-time kill, though. Right there, Oscar not expecting that whatsoever.
See, that is an important kill, but it just comes a little bit too late. Boomich goes down, and Valina next in line. On Jimka, no bomb, no health, no teammates.
No hope.
It's not a good situation, is it, Moses?
No, it's not ideal. He'll survive with the AK. He's gonna, actually, no, he won't. He goes for the fight. Doesn't even save it. Rops gets some bonus money and a free upgrade, perhaps. Yes, he does. That's nice for him, and all of a sudden it's just mousesports flush with cash. They even managed to salvage that AWP at the end, so they're going to be quite happy with how this has turned out. 3-0 for them. There's the opening pick. Quick just swinging out wide to take a fight, obviously believing he'll be fighting at M4. Oscar gets this kill. Never saw the second player actually get out, but mousesports able to sustain it in an easy round.
Hard to say how they could have got back into that round, QB5. Maybe if Boomich had, instead of killing Oscar straight away, if he had sort of tried to position himself to get one kill and then the second straight in the bomb site. I'm not saying that's not a big risk, but you know, if you're down like that, maybe that's what you have to do.
A lot of things would have had to go right. Oscar with the raining down death towards the upper ramp. No real plan in this round from QB Fire, just kind of everyone, some of them with upgraded pistols, some of them without, just kind of going somewhere, seeing if they can get a kill, and it's not working out. It's going to be 4-0 for mousesports now.
I think that grenade landed on someone's head over at Ivy. Like, it took them from 90 to 11, so that's a
pretty good nade.
Yeah, it's not bad at all. We are seeing grenades and weapons as well back in the hands of QB Fire, including that AWP and Waterfall. So I'm interested to see if they can win a fight against Oscar. That would be the perfect start to a round. And I think Oscar is the sort of player who might just give you the fight. So you know, instead of you having to sort of look for it and take him out, he might just come and hunt for you. Especially
with how well he's been playing at this event, and in terms of the level of competition, I think Oscar is going to be more than willing to challenge and test you early and see if you're worth his respect. So far, he hasn't had to worry. Similar way of taking box hauls from QB Fire as the previous time. Smoke down, drop a flash into it. Oscar's been called back by Rops.
Yeah, he's going to go and take that high ground. Rops down at the floor of the bomb site. Hit a bit of an off angle. I mean, it is pretty commonly used, but it isn't always hard to predict. Shoulder peek there from Molina. Playing a dangerous game right here.
Coming on the lower ramp as well. Rops is going to win that initial battle. Doesn't even take a point of damage. Waterfalls is at this train with the AWP, but he's got nowhere to go, and this is a hard weapon to make this kind of an entry work. The rest of his teammates are here, but they're not moving forward quite yet. Dicey for Rops. There's the peak. Nice quick scope from Waterfalls. Makes it work. Rops didn't expect that position whatsoever. Now the bump can get planted, or they do take a lot of nade damage. Molotov on top of it, and they're burning. Quick gets out. It's a 4-on-4 retake.
That's such an efficient Molotov, but there is one thing here that at least can work out. Very few grenades for mousesports in the retake, even if they do have health advantage. Sunny going to win that fight against the Boomich, and now things get really rough here for QB Fire. They finally have a chance, but they're not in the best position. Getting close to Stico, and he's going to catch that kill easily. The smoker's up. Valina with one kill on Sunny, but again, they're just out of players. There's one good kill, but the bomb has already been defused inside of it, and Waterfalls is going to have to just wait, save the AWP. That was a brave attempt, I feel like, for QB5. It could have worked out, but that Molotov was so good.
It might have been the nade and Molotov that did it. That's just so hard to recover from. Two players inside the bomb site just taking massive amounts of damage, but also you got to be relatively happy with that if you're QB Fire, just because that does give you a little confidence that you've gotten into the bomb site, you've got the plant, you've brought it down to a winnable situation. No, it didn't work out, but you know, for being underdogs and getting yourself in that position, that gives you some hope moving forward for the next few rounds.
Yes, it does indeed put some pressure on the economy for mousesports as well. Make sure it doesn't get completely out of control right off the bat here. There are a couple of players from QB5 that haven't even really shown up just yet, so I feel like there's a chance they could have more momentum later if they get put into play. Quick and Jimka haven't killed anyone yet at all, and oh, that was an opportunity right there. They know Chris is in the corner, but I bet you he's going to call in reinforcements, and Yeah, they're even going to give it up. They know he's not going to repeat that.
Even Oscar tossing a flashbang so that Chris J can actually push up those lanes and get more aggressive despite being spotted out. 4 players outside. Rops is playing inside so passively that even if he doesn't get the spot, he's just planning on playing retake. So they can have these 4 defenders here. And utility is running out for QB Fire.
Oh, they're going to go aggressive. Pretty late retake of Team Main, which is a bit of a problem for QB Fire. The bomb is all the way back there. I mean, if Quick goes down somehow, that's going to pretty much cancel out the round. Boomich taking a lot of damage already, trying to see if they can get anything done. Here's Chris with the kill. Stico goes down next. Great spray as Boomich will take down Oscar, leaving it 3 versus 4 with 30 seconds left. Chris and Sunny coming right back into it. And just like that, the bomb is dropped in the middle of everything. Chris kept picking up 1 more kill. Now it's gone horribly wrong. Triple for Chris J, looking for the quad, and he's going to get it too. 6-0. They had that round figured out very well, QB Fire, but they just lost control at the end of it.
I mean, thanks to Chris. What a performance from him, being very mobile, very aggressive with this M4 outside, spinning around, even fighting at 3 different angles. Look at this, 1 in team main, and this is something QB Fire is going to have to take care of. Is if mousesports, they seem to just kind of say, well, put some attention on Ivy to begin with, but once it's getting late and we're starting to run low on utility and we don't have the smokes and Molotovs to block it off, we're just going to take mid control. And if you're going to have no one there, if you're never going to punish it, we're just going to have control of that choke point and you'll never be able to get into the bomb site. So QB Fire moving forward needs to make sure they have that for their executes.
Now let's see. Robs is down at the end of that ramp and Oscar is there as well. If Oscar misses a shot, which doesn't happen that often, then Robs could be overrun here. There's a slight chance. They have the grenades for it as well, so probably Oscar's going to have to reposition himself anyway. Minimal chance here.
Mousesports has 2 players in connector, though. It's going to be a fast rotation. Here come the nades. Oscar's actually blind, doesn't miss a shot because he doesn't even take one. There's a double kill for Robs. Great spray transfer onto Valina. Still alive inside the bomb site, and that's going to be easy as Jimco drops down. And he's eventually taken out. So is Oscar, oddly enough, with that AWP at range. And Quick's going to get the bomb plant. So, I mean, this is pretty successful for QB Fire, all things considered. It's just these kinds of rounds start to feel less successful as the scoreline spreads out further and further.
Last one left, almost gets the 3rd kill. That would have been really great. Obviously defuse. If I had to rewind that round and I could go in and sort of engineer parts of it, I would say once they put that smoke on the high ground, Jimka has to be the one to initiate the push against Robs down here. Like you can see right here, he's right above Robs. He's the one that has to catch him at least at the same time, if not sort of start the fight. Like there has to be some sort of engagement for him. Otherwise, he's just waiting on the other side of the smoke for no good reason.
Well, that round, the tough part is QB Fire is trying to really make when they hit the center bomb site. We saw it on the pistol as well. They're trying to really make this sidewalk pressure work towards connector. So Jimco wasn't waiting. He was throwing flashbangs through his own smoke to get towards that connector so they could actually be aggressive there. Hold the thought though, we've got a fast pace outside. Boomich is pushed all the way through the smokes. He's the player and everyone is blind for so long, and Boomich is actually standing in fire. He takes a lot of damage, but they have no idea he's here, and what a no scope from Waterfalls, and the hit continues.
That's really an unholy kill coming through. Deco picking up another 2 here, and just like that, it's Valina alone. No bomb picked up right now. He's going to be dropped by Robs again. So 8-0. It's just the beginning of a very bad trend now for QB Fire. They've had some. They sort of get onto the bomb sites. Like I feel like they have all the basics right, but mousesports just have that extra level where once they get into the 3v3s, they just completely go mad.
I mean, that round was just, you need to find, I don't know how they didn't make it happen as it was, but it felt like they should have had like 1 to 2 kills earlier in that round just because they used so many utility, and you could see that so many of the mousesports players were blinded. I don't know if QB Fire maybe blinded themselves as well, but no one was able to find a kill. Boomich had such an advanced position, but he could see no one on his screen whatsoever. That was unfortunate, and it's just great composure from guys like Sticko, guys like Chris J, standing in the open, being patient. Once they get unblinded, they're able to just eliminate everybody.
Still money to buy. Obviously, the round loss bonus is in full effect, so 3,400 every time they lose. And if they get the bomb plant down, then that's pretty much it. You can continue to buy almost forever at that point. But that's not the only thing that matters. You still have to actually do something with all of that equipment. And what's the play going to be? This time they're spread out quite far, which something you see all the time on train. You know, it makes sure that the CT side doesn't get to sneak up, and you get to sort of at least get some sort of peripheral read on what's going on here. Where are they actually standing?
Some kind of information, hopefully in positions where you can't really be punished by aggression. That's kind of what it's designed to stop and force back. Regardless, though, I mean, mousesports, outside of some pop flash peeks into the main choke point in the outer yard, they haven't really been all that aggressive. Especially now, considering Sunny's in ladder room, they're going to be very content with these spots. Sticko's going to have a big role to play outside. No AWP on waterfalls. But he's got a very awkward position. That flame, he's going to be sitting in it. He takes a lot of damage. That half second where he saw the Molotov landing, he didn't get out quick enough. But here comes the hit from Team Main.
Yeah, I'm not liking Stiko's chances right now. There's actually going to be a really tough position for him to hold. It's a great job from Sunny to get that kill. Now they can focus a bit more on Ivy. He's very exposed, and he's going to get dropped by Quick. Boomich next in line to take down Chris. Oscar still alive, and anytime you could say that, you know you're not out of the woods just yet. Robs has gone down. The 2 versus 3. The bomb should be planted just about now. The grenade is going to be a little bit late. It won't do too much damage. Sunny is rotating all the way back. He was already exposed from that angle, or at least he'd been discovered, so he wanted to make sure he doesn't just walk into a bullet. This feels like a must-win round for QB Fire. Much better chance this time.
I don't see a whole lot of ways they can lose it. It would have to be incredible retake from mousesports. There's Oscar, though, and he can make it happen. One still on the bomb. Not expecting that, but he didn't have his gun out. Somehow Valina recovers and gets the last 2 kills. That's huge. A momentary panic, it felt like, at least for me watching that.
Yeah, that was getting very, very worrisome for a quick second there.
Because he sit on the bomb and like pulled a nade out. Is that what that was?
Something like that.
That's very weird. Oh
yeah.
My God, the quick switch.
Ooh.
He panicked as well.
It's a pretty good adjustment, though. You have to appreciate that. 8-1 the scoreline. I mean, now it's time to take a deep breath if you're QB Fire. If you lose this round loss bonus is reset. You don't have the money. You're just almost giving away the entire first half.
Well, okay, this is new. Op basically rushing into ladder room on the CT side. Who better to do it but Oscar? Surely he's not going to come up the ladder. He did go up for a peek.
Oh, okay. Does seem absolutely mental, but it's hard to question him at this point.
The madman.
Giving his rating in the tournament, you know. Gotta just appreciate that. Oh, it's right on the edge. Stiko not quite going to be able to get the kill. But they've lost Boomich.
You could see a difference in the defense as well. The round they lost, Chris J and Sticko both huddled in the back of that middle train and were just eventually taken out from the Ivy presence. It's just such a difficult angle to hold once they stream out wide, especially if it's not an AWP doing it where you can get that one pick off as soon as they exit. Sunny's still controlling ladder room. It's going to be inside pressure, though. Looks like Oscar's going to boost it up. That don't mean Sticko has to rotate over to Rops if he needs the help, but still, they're content with him just playing retake.
You notice this QB Fire has been doing this double drop quite a number of times. This time it's even with a flashbang. That's a nice combo. But no one's been there for mousesports. They never get caught by it anymore, which is something that's been popular in the tournament. We've seen so many people go down to that. So mousesports might have just said, listen, we're not 100% sure how to counter it, so let's just not fall to it every single round, you know.
We only saw Sunny there once, and the other time was this round where Oscar rushed into it and went up the ladder for a peek. So they've all rotated back. There's 2 players. The AWP on Oscar, this better be... They have nothing to really blind him or block him off. They just have to pray he misses a shot, and he does. But Rops is there. He's going to get a nice burst onto Valina.
Flashbang in their faces. Bullets in their eyes. Jimka is down, and now Waterfall's the last one left as Oscar does get the kill on Quick, and he's completely trapped in. Great shot on Oscar, but he's still got nowhere to go and no health at all. Robs will take him down, and there's the horrible reset that we were talking about. At least they got the bomb plant, but QB Fire is still going to be in so much trouble. I
mean, you mentioned they've had a couple rounds where they've actually made it to the bomb site, which is pretty cool, but they're not getting any kills along the way. So once they do eventually get the bomb planted or in some kind of success, they just have nothing to look forward to after that. There's still a nightmare.
I mean, 4 out of the 9 rounds here for mousesports have been defuse wins, so that's pretty good. I mean, if you're QB Fire, you should be happy enough about that. But obviously the reset here is that's going to be crushing.
Essentially, yeah. I mean, I guess in a way you can be happy, but at that, you also cannot be happy because you know the money is starting to build up. You know you have done a great job of limiting their economy, and then on top of that, at this point, like once mousesports gets to 10, you can no longer be happy with just plants. You need the rounds.
Stico first to initiate, but he's going to get all this kill stolen from him. Sonny and Oscar being a little bit greedy here. Stico cleaning up a couple for himself. He finally gets a piece of the pie, and that will leave Waterfalls in the smoke, dead by Sonny. So 10-1. I mean, there was no way that round was ever going to work out anyway. They didn't really have anything. They need to win, I think, the next 4 in a row here, QB Fire, and it could be done. They're all going to be buy rounds, more or less, for mousesports, but
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, mousesports has plenty of money to buy through the rest of this half. The question is, QB Fire, because they had just gotten reset as well, they're not going to be great on money. That losing bonus isn't fully built up around these buys. 17 ADR on Jimka and 35 on Quick. It's been a very tough half. And now with the double op setup coming in, I mean, Chris J's been great with the M4, but he's known as an opper. Now when you start running into 2 ops, especially now, just mentioned, the QB Fire team, they're going to be, you know, their economy isn't great, so they're going to be low on some nades. You can see they have the smokes, they have a decent amount of flashbangs, but those are going to run out pretty quick.
You got to feel like some of these upset teams that we've seen so far, because they had to play through the qualifier and now through the new Legend stage, it feels like they sort of have run out of steam a little bit, you know? Maybe something similar for Vega Squadron. I mean, we'll see later today, but
don't you dare insult my Vega Squadron.
All right, shark boy.
I predicted the Horsies to win today. I've done it.
What?
I know. Sold all my stock.
Traitor.
And the Sharks. Yeah, there was also that conversation from some of the Legends teams as well, that like coming off that long break, yeah, they practiced, but the first officials all felt very weird to them. So maybe this is the same amount of steam that these upset teams have to begin with. It's just everyone else has caught up. Great shot from Waterfalls grabbing the angle. Chris doesn't even get a chance to peek. Sticko's got to do something special, but it's Waterfalls instead. Oscar now arriving, but Boomich with the spin.
As Rob's left, he's doing very well at the moment. He's got 14 and 3 as a scoreline, but still, he is alone, and the bomb should be going down. In fact, Valina's taking it all the way back to B, because Jimka's cleared out C connected. They want to be absolutely sure they don't get picked up by Robs in any kind of weird battle here. But I can't really blame them for that. Jimka's now sneaking up into CT spawn, and Waterfalls is going to get the kill anyway. That was just a miraculous round from him. Very well done.
That was a very cool round. Great shots from him with the AWP, and he did a great job of baiting his teammates just so he could grab that initial angle out into the yard to pick off Chris. Yeah, right here. His teammates are kind of making some action. They've, you know, one's died, Quick had died, but safe in T-mid, he just finds the angle, sees the gun barrel of Chris J, and then jumping, actually spotting Rops before taking the peek. A second round for QB Fire. They need to build on it. It's a double op setup again, so expensive for mousesports. If QB Fire wins this, I don't know if they'll have him entirely reset. No, they wouldn't. So yeah, mousesports will be able to buy essentially every single round to the end of this half.
Which is definitely part of the problem here. Chris and Stico on a bit of a mission to try and see if they can maybe take some of the momentum back, and that's such a great peek from Chris. He absolutely had that mapped out inside of his mind. Oscar will be taking down Waterfalls, so now the party, as swift as it was, has come to an end here for QB Fire. It's Chris taking down Quick, and now Avelina and Jimka left. And they're not making anything happen here, Moses. That
Chris J aggression and peek towards Ivy, I doubt they've ever seen something like that in their level of competition back home.
Probably not.
Like, that's one of those things where you're just like, how does he do it?
Yeah, because it's not the most common angle. I mean, there are a lot of other angles that Chris could have decided to sort of crouch into. That was just a perfect one.
Showing off with the op now as well. All 5 players from mousesports above, or in double digits, I guess. In double-digit kills.
And nobody for QB5, so just to point that out.
You're really, yeah, that's heartbreaking.
It's one of those days, Moses.
Yeah.
We're only gearing up for the heartbreak. The real heartbreak is going to be the next game.
Oh, that's going to be good stuff.
Yeah?
I'm really excited for that.
I bet you are.
Really excited for Rops here to just shut this down. And as I say that, he backs off.
Yeah, there would have been a lot of players there. That grenade, though. Oh. Imagine if they had gone at the same time. It's still a good grenade, but that could have been the whole team almost.
Would have been nice. What does he call for support? He's had a couple times alone at this B bomb site. Oscar hasn't budged. He'll be the first one there, and it's going to be too late for him to get involved. This is all ROPS unless they try and attack Sidewalk, which they are still trying to do, and he's going to hold it strong. They've been doing that all half. ROPS is going to handle one more. Transfer over doesn't work. Waterfalls takes him down, and Oscar's here, but ROPS has done his job. Those 2 kills are perfect.
Quick is now inside of the smoke and re-smokes it, comes up the other side with the UMP to get 2 great kills. What kind of magic is this? He's finally going to get taken down by Oscar, but for a moment it did look like he had some kind of trick going on there. And now Waterfalls. Can he get the jump down on that ramp to stop the defuse? The answer is no. Oscar will drop him for another triple, and that will be 12-2 favoring mousesports here, with Robs, by the way, at 17-5, so he's having himself a pretty good game.
He's been enjoying that inner bomb site. Waterfall's now up to 10, so we've got the double digits on QB Fire.
There we go.
Another plant for them, but no victory. And they did half invest into that round. They had armor, they had, you know, the AK on Galena, UMP on Quick. This is really good stuff from ROPS. All you need out of your inner player is those 2 kills to make sure that no pressure can be put towards that choke point. Or minimal pressure put towards the choke point. So yeah, these last 2 buys and these last 2 rounds for QB Fire, pretty haggard.
Yeah, which is not exactly great. Even when they've had the equipment, they've had a hard time actually making it work. Oscar's gonna go for it again. Oh my god! No way!
What a dick.
There's no way to put it on the ladder. No scoping. Why are you doing this? They're already dead, Oscar. Just leave them alone. Waterfalls is gonna go down. I'm going to continue. Moses. I didn't want to see that.
I did. I didn't know I did at the time, but now that I've seen it, I want to see it again. Oh, God bless it all. 13-2 for mousesports.
No, we don't. No.
Yes. No, it's so good, Anders. You know you like it.
I'm not sure if I do, Moses.
This is great. Oh,
I hope someone could do like a little, just edit that, and from Jimka's point of view, and right when he comes up, just edit like a little smiley face into his model, you know, just like.
There needs to be a new subreddit that's like no scope porn.
No scope, yeah, that would be good. That's going to be popular right now.
Yeah, that would be like when you go to like top of all time, that would be up there, I think. That clip.
What an obnoxious person. Going into the 16th round here, second half, QB Fire versus. So no one's going home. I mean, QB Fire, they've got to get another chance. Obviously, whoever wins is going to advance. And mousesports right now, they've made a strong case that they are ready for that. They're definitely looking great at the moment. Rob's opening up and taking down. Jimco's had such a rough game here on train. Should not been his day. Quick will return with 1 and could get a second chance here. One more click would do it. He's almost out of bullets, and he had one more in the chamber. He's finally going to get it on Robs. Boomich chimes in. Quick is reloaded, and he's back in action. And now Stiko, even if the bomb is planted, he is in a lot of trouble here. Jumping down is going to be Boomich, and Stiko getting shot in the side of the face by Quick, who ends up with a triple quad kill, in fact. Great round for him.
Yeah, that's very nice. Everyone on mousesports just trying to make a play, just trying to go hunt down some of those kills in the pistol and Quick, fortunately for him, never really had too much pressure put on him. Poor Rops gets halfway down that high train in that narrow alley and gets caught in a duel, and he's just like, well, I've got nowhere to go.
Yeah, you can get a little bit claustrophobic in there.
Yeah, it gets awkward if you don't make it all the way to the back.
Of course, on old train, you climb under the train. The way that works now is, like, if they made a version of Train where you could do that now in Global Offensive, it would be so useless.
They had one.
Yeah, but you'd die all the time.
We took it out. Because it was...
Just sitting on the trains now would just get you killed 100% of the time.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's a great nade from Valina, and a great 2-tap onto Oscar.
Why did Sunny... What? Oh, yeah, that's...
It's denying the bonus
Yeah, I was
money.
going to say... For a quick moment, I was thinking, have they lost their minds? But no, you're right. They don't want to give the $600 extra bonus to Valina. Now they're trying to knife, but he's going to take the money anyway. Give it the cash. There's the ace.
Yes. Yeah, first made popular...
Bathing in the fire, I mean...
First made popular by the French.
Yeah. Not at all a bad idea. And now they're going to be reborn like the Phoenix Moses into the next round. It's all worth it.
All right.
Is that too deep? It's early.
It is early. Actually, I think it's almost noon. That doesn't constitute early.
It does for gamers.
13-4. Here we go. Waterfalls has his AWP, and he hit some disgusting shots in the first half. Sunny's found a pocket where that flame doesn't burn him. And Boomich got into ladder room before Sicko could find a way down. Rops is here trying to force him out, but Boomich is standing his ground. Smoke is down.
This is wonderful. He gets the kill with the MP9, then swaps it out for the AK-47. That's exactly what you want. Wouldn't it just be quite the ride if QB Fire can start to make this comeback on the CT side? It's not impossible.
No, it certainly is not impossible. We'll see what they've got. Waterfall still is a great angle. There's not a whole lot of utility on this mousesports side. And you have to feel, as we've seen so many times, they're going to have to take care of Boomich if they want a chance here. There are 2 players inside for QB Fire, so this outside defense is weak. They obviously don't know.
He actually hit that.
Yeah, I saw that. Just a little chip. Just a warning shot. Oscar's about to get picked off here from Ivy. Waterfalls has got the angle with the AWP. If he leads the attack, it's going to be a great chance, but that smoke, well placed by Oscar. Waterfalls has got to move because of it. It's still no...
Boomich. Very late that he moves up. He does win the fight against Rob, so that was a good move. Valina goes down in the meantime, and now they're trying to make their way out. Waterfalls with a great pickoff, and that almost closes out the round. Now they're in a 1 versus 4 here. Chris going to go for the peak, but Waterfalls is incredibly ready for it. And that's going to be another round here, 13-5, and they're getting really fired up now, Moses.
Yeah, they starting to get a little loud, starting to see some smiles on the faces as well. Probably feeling more comfortable here now that they were able to get, you know, the AWP out on this defense. They have the utility, and obviously they have Boomich and ladder room, which makes things extremely easy. Like I said, mousesports is going to have to find a way, whatever they try and do the double drop, whatever the Molotov them out, something.
Do you want to be the one to say it, or should I, Moses?
You can say it.
Jim has only got 1 kill from 18 rounds.
Why'd you have to do that?
Someone has to.
That's a good point.
I was hoping you'd, you know, just take one for the team. And
I would have done it. I didn't know what you were talking about, to be honest with you.
It's fair enough then. That's a good excuse. Waterfalls going to go down, and Sunny in exchange. So not that bad at all, especially if they can deny the AWP. There's Jim Kern. We're just going to point it out. He's going to get a nice triple spray down. That must feel amazing after, just even if they don't have any armor or rifles. I don't think he cares.
No, I mean, that just gets you on the board, right? It gets you feeling good. He probably heard you call him out. He's probably going to come over here after the game, exchange some words. But he's got a nice triple kill to get things started into the second half. Another buy is going to come out for mousesports. The op is going to be risky here. Oscar can get it. I think it would have to be glass cannon or no head armor, and you can see him taking a timeout.
I'd love it if he came over and did sort of a simple kind of confrontation, you know.
What is that? What is that?
I don't think I can sort of, like, you know, repeat any of it. But for anyone who hasn't, just go on YouTube, simple The Undertaker, and it'll be well worth your time.
Watch all 3, both sequels.
Yeah, all good. That usually doesn't happen when you do sequels, you know.
Yeah, no. Even the second and third are better than the first, I think.
Yeah, gets upgraded every time. 13-6, 20th round coming up. I don't think mousesports are really all that worried right now, but as we've been talking about already, at some point you've got to realize that they're going to be within striking range. It's not quite yet, but yeah, definitely time to focus again here for mousesports.
And certainly with the way that this QB Fire team has played, like, I think you just have to be careful, and you don't want them to gain momentum, because they've shown that they have some resiliency. I mean, to the game against Gambit that they went into overtime when they were able to win. If this comes down, this isn't like one of those upset teams that's just going to collapse if it's close towards the end of the game. They've shown that they can hang with you throughout all 30 rounds.
Which in itself is actually just quite impressive.
It's really cool, isn't it? Valina is close up, and Boomic again in ladder room. Waterfalls that up behind his smoke. No real assertiveness from mousesports quite yet. Boomic again just playing with a MP9 in the ladder room. Choosing to cheaper weapon, bonus money, and get a free upgrade, probably because of the rate of the fire at that range.
I mean, at this range, even against the armor, it's going to be pretty good. Speaking of armor, by the way, I didn't notice, but Oscar doesn't have any.
Yeah.
That's not always great when you're on the T side. They are out of HEs on the other side right now of QB Fire, so at least they don't have to worry about that. And Jimka playing a very dangerous position here. Right underneath, going to put down the Molotov. That's actually very good timing now. 27 seconds. They eventually have to go. Quick and Jimka, if they can hold on, then boom. Oh, he's already coming up from behind. In fact, he's very close by, just at the ladder. 19 seconds. They have to go for it. Jimka with the spray. He's missing a bit, but quick. Not going to miss. Picking up 2 kills, and Jimka's there to take down Stiko. That's the bomb dropped. And the end of the round.
I don't know if he meant to do this, but I don't know if Boomic came up the ladder very, very loud and then went right back down. I don't know if he was just trying to do a distraction to break up that hit, but it might have worked just a little bit. Just doing this over and over, and a missed shot from Oscar. Boomic going to turn the corner, trying to pre-fire, and he's not going to get him in the end. It was so close, though. Maybe another half second. A great hold from QB Fire, though, but you have to say a very unimaginated round out of mousesports. Just not applying pressure, sitting around and waiting to do an inner execute. Under 30 seconds.
Yeah, no points for creativity at all.
0, in fact.
Just hoping for the best, but hasn't been working out so far. What was the streak in the first half for Mousesport? Did they win like 9 rounds in a row, I think? Or 8?
Yeah, something mental. And also, QB Fire was never able to string 2 rounds together in the first half. Now they've got 5 in a row.
Yeah, they won 8 in a row in the first half of Mousesports before the QB Fire finally sort of woke up. So that's not bad at all. And you're right, they've won 5 in a row here. So I mean, they're not quite at the Mousesports level, but still, this is definitely trending in the right direction. 21st round coming up. Mousesports, they have some rifles. Some of them saved, obviously, as we saw that just now, and some of them repurchased. 6-round difference. Oh,
this is going to be a faster paced round. They're not slowing down whatsoever. They want to get out. Nades out from the defense. Waterfalls is blind. Boomic going to attack. He's wrapping around the train. He wins that battle. He spins, and he can't respond in time. 2 kills from Mousesports, meanwhile. And Chris J has gained so much ground in Waterfalls trying to do a drive-by. Not going to work, and here's Mousesports piling it on. Finally, they're going to get their first round of this T side. The aggression from Mousesports is not able to be controlled.
And as soon as Waterfalls went down, Quick was he had no chance, right? Like, he needed his teammate to be alive, so a little bit scary. Jimka, that's a great headshot to take down Oscar, very impressive, but there's so much more to come. He has the smoke, so theoretically if he can get the kill on Chris and then continue on to smoke the bomb, he could try and force them in, but they're just not showing themselves enough. He has to fall back eventually. It's one thing if they give him fights, then he can sort of start to make it back. And waiting in CT spawn is Robs. And Jimka's looking the wrong way. It's going to end very badly indeed. Big hit coming in from Mousesports. Big win in this round. Now they're just 2 steps away from making their way to Boston.
It's not the worst thing in the world, though, if you're QB Fire, because right now you still have plenty of money. You're going to get the double up setup out. If you can win this round and respond, put Mousesports back onto some saves and close the gap just a little bit more and regain some of that momentum. So they're not out of it just yet.
No. I mean, that's the one big thing, isn't it?
Yeah, the tough part is even with this double up setup now, there's plenty of nades, flashbangs, smokes on the Mousesports side, Molotovs as well. And actually, Sunny, after that 1 win, is he's feeling spry. He wants to get out, take a fight. There it is.
He's so far out. That smoke in the middle train, though, was a little bit off, I think. That could have been dangerous. Quick and Waterfalls, the double AWP coming into play. You see it's actually landed on the side of the train, so there's a whole sort of stack under it. Chris at the angle by the E-box, ready and waiting. 4 versus 3. And Mousesports have tried to slow it down just a bit. See what's going to happen now.
Well, Chris is the most aggressive. There's Waterfalls. I think that was a boost over through the window, and Chris is going to clean it off. He's the sole aggressor at this outer bomb site, and that kill brings Sticko and Oscar back out. That's an op. It's pinning Jimka down against the bomb train. Chris, he wants to swing wide. He does it from the high ground, and he's covered by his teammate. Jimka is saved by Quick. And Alpin and M4 still on the board, and there it is again. The AWP rings out one more time. Sticko's down, so is the bomb. Oscar spots one out. He's got 45 seconds for this 1-on-2. Plenty of time.
As he does, Molotov to try and force somebody out. Has to go and pick up the bomb eventually. And, oh, he's going to make a run for it. Quick has already repositioned himself. I am not sure where Oscar... did he wallbang that shot?
What, the leg?
Yeah.
And no, I think he was boosted up over the smoke through the windows in the ladder room.
Oh, then he got up really quickly. Great read from Quick, though. Quad kill for him. And that is another round here for QB Fire. But even more importantly than winning the round is resetting the economy. You've got to make sure that mousesports just don't have the money to work with. And currently they could buy 2 AKs and not much else. So dangerous to try and keep the pressure on right now if you are mousesports.
Yes, and like the nice thing is, if you're mousesports, you can have those players who can afford the AKs just maybe drop a couple pistols, but they can also buy utility, so you can have some kind of an execute to get that bomb plant to really mitigate the fact that the losing bonus just gets reset now. But this is going to start getting dangerous because they are giving some momentum over to QB Fire. QB Fire is getting more and more into this game. The players are getting more and more confidence and playing much better. And they're going to start building up some money again because Boomich is back onto the MP9 against unarmored opponents for the moment.
That always is a good idea. Tech9 on Chris? We've talked about this. Tech9, so popular once. It's just all legend now.
What do you prefer, like the Tech9 era or the CZ era, the original CZ era? In terms of if you were stuck in hell, would you rather be stuck in hell in the Tech9 era or the CZ era?
I don't know. The Tech9 era was very French, wasn't it?
So is the CZ. They were LDLCZ.
Yeah, that's true. What's up with the French and ridiculous pistols? Quick having himself a shooting gallery, doing just fine, which we would expect in a round like this one. Ooh. All right, styling on Stiko.
Fancy footwork.
I'm gonna pick the. I'm gonna pick the Tech9s. I slightly prefer the Tech9s.
Okay.
Just because I feel like there was more. There was just more of a sort of hype situation watching a team of 5 people running Tech9s. It was kind of ridiculous, but it was also fun, you know.
I think we have different definitions of fun. Regardless, 9-14, QB Fire making this comeback happen. It's another fast-paced attack. Last time this worked out so well for mousesports. This time they've taken massive damage. They have done some to Boomich, but he's still in ladder room and still unable to clear him out, and Waterfall's now coming into it. Sonny and Oscar take one more nade just for fun. The ender's kind of fun, and they're pretty much out of this round. Why not?
That metric, they're having a lot of fun right now.
Ooh.
Sonny and Oscar somehow finding a couple of kills in return, but they are still very low on health. It's hard to imagine that they could make it back in a round like this as long as QB Fire just, put a pause on everything.
I mean, this flank pretty much kind of seals it because Jimka is essentially cutting off half the map, maybe even 3/4 of the map at this point.
Yeah, he even has Moses, like a couch and a television up in that room.
He's
Look
just
at
chilling.
this newspaper to get everything going on for him.
Well, Valina, it's all down to timing. Here's the tough part is if he dies, no one is nearby to really recover this. Boomich would have to take a long-range fight, and they've spotted him out now. He's at least got the information. He goes for the peek. Oscar's not ready, and Sonny had bailed out. So no trade as well, and now it's definitely just continues to drop, and there's the peak. He's had enough cartoons.
Man, they're so excited. I absolutely love this. They're really getting into the game now. That, I think, is really important. I mean, if you're a QB Fire and you want to believe in the comeback, then here's your chance. 6 more rounds.
You know what scares me is we haven't seen anything that tactically impressive out of mousesports quite yet, and it seems like they're out of ideas. Like the 2 rounds they've kind of gone to try and really shake things up have just been rush the outer bomb site, and that's not ideal.
No, it absolutely is not. They had such a great time in the first half. 13-2 is the scoreline. So at that point, you're thinking, well, that's it. Like now, we're at the major. Don't even worry about it. All the way through to Boston. But at this point in time, there's a slight asterisk next to that first half. Chris J now alone here. Obviously, they had nothing in this round. And Boomic has got 3 kills with this. 4 now with the MP9. That's so much money.
He's just been the bank for his team, hasn't he, throughout this whole thing? He's like preferring to buy the MP9, getting into ladder room, loving that bonus money, dropping over ops, dropping over M4s when needed, and never upgrading. So this is good stuff.
I have a call.
All right.
Obviously, they can't hear me, so it doesn't really matter, Moses, but you put 3 men down Ivy, you smoke off towards the yard, and then you try and wrap those 3 people around. And you do it slowly. Nothing fast rush or anything.
Oh, that is the worst.
All right. We shall see.
Those wrap strategies are like a cool idea theoretically, but I rarely see them work, especially when they're slow. Too much time to rotate into good positions.
Oh, we'll see what they're going to come up with here. Right now, Jim going quicker at the B bomb site, and it seems like they're gravitating much more towards the B side. So this is not such a bad idea. You win one fight here, and you're good to go.
They're going to get picked off at least one here. They're going to have a quick flank as well. There's the kill from Quick. Boomic is going to come with the ladder any second. Oh, he even gets a leg on the follow-up. Pistol whips Chris J in range, and the up. Oh no, just barely misses. But Jimko is dealing with it. The defense holds strong again, and mousesports is stopped one more time. You can hear him getting louder as well.
You were absolutely right, Moses. They were going to get picked off. I was worried for a second there when Quick got the leg, or he should have shot through the train. I was wondering if that was going to be an instant return, but he just handled all of this very nicely. Just to point this out, I mean, we should, because we were criticizing that Quick was one of those players that had a very, very bad start as well on the first half, and so is Jim Curran. Right now, Quick is up to 21. He's overtaken everybody else right now in the whole server, and Jim Curran's up to 10 kills. So, I mean, I'd say overall, that's quite an impressive comeback just individually.
I mean, we mentioned it. I think there was no QB Fire players in double digits until like round 14 of the first half. So everyone kind of shooting up. But here's the thing. This tactical pause, if they're not discussing a way to clear Boomic out of ladder room, they're not going to win this game. They cannot just allow him to sit in there and never deal with it whatsoever, especially considering the number of times we've seen that double drop work. Like, it's not the most complex thing to do. Especially if he's playing with an MP9, which he's not anymore because he got a free upgrade. But you can't let someone, it's too much information, it's too critical of a position. It creates, you know, a third angle on the outer bomb site when you hit it. It creates a quick flank opportunity if you go inside. There's just nothing you can do if you let them have that for the entire half. Thankfully, this time he's not in there. So, step 1 complete.
Yeah, inadvertently. Wallbangs coming through from waterfalls. He's maybe guessed that they're not going to have an AWP on the other side to respond with, so he's not worried about, you know, taking a couple of shots through. Can get a lot of interesting wallbangs through on train.
You had one that made it onto Reddit, I believe, earlier this week.
It's to shoot Valina right here, but all the way from teammate.
Yeah. It's pretty disgusting. Molotov out. Valina is going to delay any kind of pressure. This is where it gets scary. Boomic starting to push up. You don't want him to walk into that deagle, and actually, he misses his shot, but Sonny didn't see him initially, didn't even check for the presence. They've got 2 down in the ladder room, but he's not there this round, which is probably going to be frustrating, and basically, at this point, QB Fire using the range of their rifles quite nicely.
Yeah, they're sorting this out rather well. About to be at 13 rounds.
Ooh.
This is a great story right now of what can be achieved when you just don't give up. Jimka will take down Stiko. Obviously, right now, QB Fire are just completely light up. I hope we'll have a camera. Well, I think we do have a camera on them at all times, pretty much, and they're so happy right now. Their coach behind them has gone completely crazy as well. I love it. This
is, well, I mean, you have to think of it this way as well, Anders. There's probably 6 people in this whole world that thought that they could do this. Maybe not win this individual match, but make it to Boston, right? Yeah. 6 people who believe they could make it to Boston, and they're on the verge of doing it here because mousesports has been stumped throughout this whole thing. Just 3 rounds away from not only Boston, but legend status. And look at the aggressiveness. He's feeling confident, goes for the peak, and he's just going to fall away. But he did spot one.
That's a great grenade. Oh, my God. Right on top of Oscar and Chris, so...
He's still being aggressive, Anders.
He's loving it. Quick's going to take down Rov. Suddenly, the tables have turned. Mousesports were looking so confident. They had the entire game under control. And they've slowly, piece by piece, lost almost all of it now. 13 to 14 here, and they are about to be eclipsed by QB Fire unless they can come up with some kind of play here. It's been a while. You know who else is really nervous, Moses?
What's that?
Vince.
Oh, that's right. He's got to eat a shoe. Perfect. Well, Boomich is back in ladder room again. This is a great angle. I don't know if they'll expect it. Oh, missed shot. He's almost punished. That would have been huge for Sticko. Still, they've funneled mousesports towards the inner bomb site. Boomich is ready for the flank, and Jimko's now rotated back.
Yeah, you pointed it out, Moses, that position in the ladder room, and once again it's going to be valuable. Nobody's spotting for it, so he can flank them as soon as they start to make their way down the ramp. Jimko quicker on the other side, and see what they can do. They even have a couple of grenades left still. 30 seconds as they make their way on. Chris is in. The flashbangs are good, but Jimko still gets the kill. Quick will follow it up, and now Jimko, if he gets one more, that is it. Sunny now in a 1 versus 3 with 20 seconds, and Boomich already right behind him. His defense is rock solid here for QB Fire as they make it 14-14 and equalize the scoreline in an absolutely epic comeback here on Train.
And they've never had to worry about money. Look at this economy. It's going so strong. mousesports hasn't even really put him in danger of losing a round in quite some time. Everyone on the CT side for QB Fire has stepped up. This would just be a absolutely stunning upset. And mousesports, I'll be frank, they just look lost. They look like they have no idea how to counter this, how to do anything on this map.
A shocking turn of events here. 29th round. Can they make their way back again? Valina going aggressive, same pattern as last time. Going to be putting a little bit through. Chris remembered what happened next, which was the grenade, Oscar. Not quite sure.
Didn't learn.
Not quick enough anyway. Now, Valina and Waterfalls both have a very advanced position here. Now, do mousesports sort of spend time retaking this? This could be very dangerous.
I think you do. You're here. You might as well go for it. That's a great shot from Chris, covering Oscar as he works his way up. One of the first openings we've seen mousesports get in quite some time. How does QB Fire respond to adversity? Jimko's still pushed up at the inner box halls. Quick and Boomich aggressive on the outer bomb site as well. Push close to the choke points. Quick with an AWP. One flashbang could ruin his day though, but there's not many for mousesports to expend.
Jimko's actually pushed all the way up. Now he's very close. There's Waterfalls taking down Oscar. mousesports, this was their big opening. Now Boomich is pushing in, but Robs is going to take him down. He was at the other side. Quick is in a lot of trouble. He sees the shadow. He knows what's coming. He gets the shot as well. And just like that, Stikos alone. 30 seconds now for the 1 versus 2. And he has to cross the line, and right there, Waterfalls is waiting. That's 15. Oh my God. They're 1 round away, Moses.
This is unbelievable. The fashion in which they've done it. The defense is just... mousesports can't crack it. They don't know where to go. Even when they go outside, by the way, this is great. This shot right here from Quick. Look at the educated, like, the risk he's taking there by not covering the bottom side of the train, of covering the high ground. And he's just saying, you know what, well, you got to take a gamble at some point. And he does it to stunning effect.
Just look at their reactions, the anticipation, wondering how the round is going to turn out, and then absolute relief. But this is what it's coming down to now. 14 to 15. Flashbangs are in. Jimko with the headshot to open up on Robs. And now 4 versus 5 as they try and make their way in. mousesports out of ideas. They've been completely run dry, and now they've got to make their way down. They do slow on the ramp just a bit. That defensive smoke comes out. They're in so much trouble.
They're beat, Anders. They're shrinking the map themselves by staying grouped up like this. They have no map control anywhere else. If they fall all the way back, they have to clear so much ground, and they have to clear so many different angles. And they still haven't even wanted to mess with ladder room whatsoever. So they spread out. They just make sure they're not getting flanked, and they're going to come right back towards inside. But again, Boomich and Valina, while not in the ladder room, are ready for a quick flank. mousesports is getting stalled out by grenades. And by the way, while these smokes are up, there's no action going on anywhere on the rest of the map. So QB Fire is just saying, if it's entirely silent everywhere, they've got to be in or behind these smokes.
Yeah, not at all a bad calculation to be making. Bit of a boost attempt coming in here from mousesports, or at least they tried to do it now. Looks like they are going to try and make their way down. And it's all on the line here. Jimko and Quick defending the bomb site like they have done before. 28 seconds, no one checking the corner. Jimko missing the chance, but Chris overextending, running right into it. Valina's gone down. It is still a 3-on-3. Oscar is going to be dropped by Quick and Sunny out in the middle of nowhere. Quick with one more pistol kill, and Sunny now alone and trapped in the middle of everything. The bomb has only just gone down, and he's inside the smoke, trying to make his way back out. That bomb, he can't actually stop it from being defused. Bubic is already on it. Sunny, he can't stop this from happening. What an incredible story here. The kill comes through, a Cinderella story of what can be accomplished when you do not give up. 16-14, and QB Fire make it to the playoffs here at the major tournament.
You gotta just smile as you look on. What an incredible run. No one even thought they would get to this stage in the major, and mousesports, while they look forlorn, they've still got another chance, obviously, but you gotta be happy for the guys from QB Fire.